The 1st Battalion, 29th Infantry, an interior battalion, has been ordered to organize a defensive position with its main line of resistance on Green Hill, just north of the Ohio Trail. Covering forces are out in front on Oliver Hill and Anderson Hill. It is now 6 a.m. The enemy is advancing from the south and may be in a position to attack Green Hill in about 4 hours. The Lieutenant Colonel of the 1st Battalion made his reconnaissance, accompanied by the captain of Company D, and is just completing his battalion order. The captain of Company D takes his platoon leaders over the sector, orients them as to the general situation, and gives orders to each platoon leader pertaining to his platoon.
Lieutenant, the right boundary of the battalion sector is Gilbert Creek. The left boundary, that house ruins southeast of Long Hill, the small red knoll 400 yards southeast of the high point on Green Hill, the chimney 100 yards east of the road bend on Hawkinson Hill, all exclusive, Oliver Hill inclusive. The 1st platoon will place one section about 100 yards north of the trail junction between Green and Hawkinson Hills. Its principal sector of fire from that tree 50 yards north of the Ohio Trail right to the road bend on Hawkinson Hill. It will place its other section about 150 yards to the west of the 1st section. Its principal sector of fire from that tall pine 100 yards southwest of Green Hill left to the tallest of the group of trees on Hawkinson Hill. Combat groups will be in the vicinity of these places. A section of the 2nd platoon is to cover the combat group in which our 1st section is located from the vicinity of the trail junction southwest of Green Hill. A section of Company H, which is to be on our left, is to cover the combat group in which the left section is located. Are there any questions?
No, sir.
Move out.
The 1st Platoon is moving up with the company to a point on the trail just west of Green Hill. The platoon leader is accompanied by the agent corporal and the messengers.
I want you to go back to the platoon, which you'll find on the trail just west of that high ground, and lead it up here on trucks.
Yes.
Men, come with me.
The messenger finds the platoon in concealment in the trees and brush in rear of Green Hill. He leads it forward toward the area of the gun positions. While the platoon is moving up, the platoon leader makes a reconnaissance and picks out definite positions for his sections. These positions should provide cover from enemy fire, concealment from enemy observation, and a concealed route of entrance and exit, so that they can be occupied and vacated without the enemy observing the movement. He confers with the rifle group commanders as they arrive and learns the exact position of the combat groups. He informs them of the sectors of fire assigned to his sections. When the section leaders arrive, the platoon leader gives them the general information about the enemy, the location and mission of the battalion and of the machine gun company. He points out to each the position his section is to occupy. He points out the sectors of fire, the final protective line for each section, landmarks, and other terrain features. He also indicates alternate and supplementary positions. Since the enemy may be in a position to attack in 4 hours, he orders shallow emplacements to be prepared. The squads arrive while the platoon leader is issuing his order to the section leaders and unload their equipment just in rear of the positions to be occupied. The transport corporal takes the transport to the assembly point designated by the machine gun company commander. In the defense, all of the transportation of the company is assembled at one place, usually near the ammunition distributing point. The section leader explains the situation to the squad leaders, indicates the principal positions for the first squad, and points out the sector of fire and the final protective line assigned to the section. He then points out the principal position for the second squad and gives instructions to both squad leaders regarding the location of alternate and supplementary positions. The squads now have the necessary information about the situation. They know the location of the positions to be occupied and their sectors of fire. They have been instructed to prepare shallow emplacements. It is best to use numbers 1 and 2 of each squad initially in preparing the principal position, thus having them immediately available at the gun in case of an emergency. The remaining members of the squads are available for other work, such as clearing fields of fire, constructing shelters, obstacles, and communication trenches. Guns which fire repeatedly from the same positions will be located eventually and will draw the fire of enemy guns. Other positions must be found from which the assigned missions can also be engaged. These positions are called alternate positions and are usually at least 50 yards from the principal positions. When the fire of the enemy makes the principal positions untenable, the section leader may order the squads to vacate them and to occupy the alternate positions. Supplementary positions are also prepared. These positions cover other directions of possible approach that the enemy may use. Should the enemy attack from an unexpected direction, the supplementary positions will be occupied upon orders of the company commander to meet the attack, or in an emergency upon orders of the platoon leader.